Hello everyone, this is Inayat Mir with my SCCM 2012 R2 installation video number 3. Once again, a brief review for new viewers. Domain name is mcsa.lms.com. I am running this domain with 4 GB memory and 1 processor. I am running LMS SQL, which is a SQL server, a dedicated SQL server. I am not running SQL on my configuration manager server, so I am running a dedicated SQL server which will be my SMS provider, and LMS CFG will be my configuration manager running Windows Server 2012 R2 operating systems. And SQL and Configuration Manager, these both servers are running with 4 processors and 8 GB memory. So this page will be for your review, whoever did not so far watched my previous 2 videos. So this will be a third video where I am going to explain this all. Along the way, I will show you some screenshots or some live pictures the way you are looking at right now. Live videos. This is my system container which contains configuration manager container that we provisioned in previous video, and also we have extended schema, so which is also part of a prerequisites for installing System Center Configuration Manager. So this is my notepad which I saved and held it under my taskbar to show you that the schema was successfully extended. So once again you look at the settings of these 3 servers, what we have, and keep in mind, and back and forth I will keep going into these servers and showing you the environment. So these are the live servers. This is my SQL server which is a member of lms.com domain. So here I am running SQL 2016 development edition, and you will see my coming up videos which I'm preparing right now for 2016 SCCM 2016, where I'm also using a SQL Server 2016 development edition. And you can look at right now the version of the SQL, the host name of the SQL, the databases what you have currently configured. If you install SQL Server and then reporting server with it and don't configure your reporting database, you won't be able to see this reporting database and the temp database at this time. Unless you watch my another video, I will try to post the link under the description as well if this video is going on YouTube. And here I will go and configure. Actually, I have done it already in another video where you will see that video was already posted before the installation of SCCM 2012 R2, and you will see that how I did that. So I will show you, I have shown you already that I have 2 databases, which is a temp database and a reporting database on my SQL server available before I started installation of SCCM. So this is my configuration manager server, LMS CFG, running Windows Server 2012 R2 operating system, 8 GB memory as you can see it, and 4 processors. Again, I am using a Hyper-V environment where I am running these all servers. So again, I put them in order. Number 1 is SQL, number 2 configuration manager, and number 3 is a host name MCSA of my lms.com domain. So currently I'm not going to connect through my reporting server from configuration manager. This is my IP address of my SQL server host computer, and the second one, again we are using a same network 192.168.1.x network for all 3 servers. In future videos, you will see Windows 7 as a client, Windows 8 as a client, and Windows 10 as a client of this domain. And you will also see Windows Server 2012 running a server operating system, and that will also be my client. So these are the IIS role or role services which you have to install before you install Configuration Manager from the installation media. So these requirements are already listed under my video number 2. You should watch video 1 and video 2 where I have actually added these all requirements for your Configuration Manager server. So once you install IIS, you can go to the next page, and one by one you look at the header, and under that subcategories you have to install. Also you have to install .NET Framework 3.5, 4.0. You have to extend schema, you have to add a system management container, you have to add bits, you have to add a remote differential compression, and this is a verification screen which I showed you several times for schema extension, because I'm on that topic. For those who do not have audio, for them this will be beneficial. And you can see I am also explaining this, and I'm also writing this in case for those or for the audience which do not have an audio. Now you have to make sure that system container contains your Configuration Manager server under security with full access. That is very important. If it's not, just make sure that you have that container available and you have Configuration Manager server available, or any load balanced with this Configuration Manager server, possibly for a distribution point or for some other purposes you are running that as a load balance. You should have that server under a security tab, so this will be visible in Active Directory as well. So you have to have a Win or MIIS extension, and also Windows Software Update Services. You either can download or you can add this from your Add Roles and Features window. So I have used server. Be careful here, if you have more than one server, you have to mention which server you are going to install WSUS. So I am installing on my Configuration Manager. Most of the videos you have seen online are showing that SQL Server is on the same host computer where you have Configuration Manager console. But I am going to make a small change. Instead of having SQL Server on the same host, for performance purposes and for some other unique reasons, and also I don't want to have SMS provider on SQL, because the reason is that SQL does not support SMS provider if you are having a SQL cluster. So clustering actually is not supported. So for those who have SQL clustering environment, for them is a good to have a standalone SQL server where you do not need to go and get worried about it. So again, this is a WSUS and all requirements with the WSUS. Once you install, you have to configure it, then you have to connect with Microsoft server. Like an upstream server, you can directly get server from Microsoft. All downloads. This was a WID, is a Windows internal database. We are not using actually for WSUS. We are not using SQL directly. Here I am going to put a folder C:\WSUS where we have all downloads. So make sure you have enough room in your drive, whichever drive you mention, for installing downloads from upstream server. In this case, that will be from Microsoft. So I have just installed WSUS. Now we are going to configure WSUS. So you can download or you can directly install from your add and remove programs, roles or features. So now you have to launch from tools menu, WSUS, and you have to connect. 8530 is a port, 80 for the web port if you want to connect with a proxy. And now at this point you might have to wait a while, because the way I'm doing is sometimes, most of the time, I pause the video and then I started with paused video. So here you select the language. You don't want to load with all of those languages, so it depends which country you are. So you are in US, so you don't want to load all products as well, and you will leave with the default products, or you choose only what you want to choose. So let's take some stuff selectively. I really don't have to do that, but just to let you know that in case if you are separately using a WSUS and you want to configure WSUS, what products you have in your organization you're running, so you might wanna install updates for that product only. So for example, I'm using SQL 2012, 2014 and 2016, so I'm using only those options what are required at this time for me, and whatever is not required, I am not interested to load those options. So whatever you don't know, just don't bother with it, just let it go the way it is. I do have some Windows 10 clients, so let's check that box. So I'm showing you these optional features, so it depends what you want to add. So more you add, more burden you are putting on your WSUS server. So make sure that only you add those updates which are required for your organization or from your organization. And once you're done, just verify it what you got, and you want to sync manually. I believe that would be ideal, and you can initialize synchronization. You can cancel whenever you want. If you don't want to configure anything now, you simply can also do from options. The last snap in at left side, from option you can configure. So this will keep loading, and I'm not interested to keep this up for now. So you do have what you wanted. You also need to have ADK. So let's see the host name once more time. So make sure you are on the configuration manager server, because we are running 3 servers at this time. So here I have downloaded already ADK for Windows 8.1. This is a Windows assessment and planning toolkit. You also can say ADK. So this will take a lot of room in your hard drive, so make sure you do have enough room in your drive. Accept the agreement, and you don't have to install all options. So look for your application compatibility toolkit or deployment tools or Windows pre-installation environment or Windows or WinPE. So you really don't need actually performance toolkit or Windows assessment services or SQL Server 2012 Express. So I would go ahead and uncheck these options since I don't require those options for my configuration manager, and I will install. So once you install, actually you are done with installation and you are ready to install System Center Configuration Manager, which you are going to see in my follow-up video. That will be video number 4. So far I believe I have completed all requirements except a few firewall rules, which I will show you in my next video. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you know where we are and what we supposed to do at this time. Just go ahead and start installation on Configuration Manager. So again, thank you for watching this video. I'm going to start my video number 4 for installation. Bye.